This is your host, CPM, and you are now tuned in to LoopThatBish weekly podcast. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the third episode of LoopThatBish Radio weekly podcast. And joining me again is BT.
Good afternoon. What's up? What's up?
So today we're going to do something a little bit different. And honestly, over the course of this podcast, we're just going to do what we feel. And there will be music most of the time. But today, I wanted us to talk about why am I not married? And I wanted you guys to get the perspective from a male and a female. And BT, I think I'm going to let you go ahead and open it up for us.
Okay. So, a couple of weeks ago, and sorry if I'm breaking up choppy, I don't know why it's weird because I was using another setup and I was fine, and now I'm going old school and it's like giving me a hard time. But anyway, going back to a couple of weeks ago, a friend of mine had a conversation with me and asked, hey, I'm just curious, just kind of trying to get some perspective and understanding, like, why are you not married? And when the conversation came up, I kind of paused for a second and had to like really think of what my next response would be, because sometimes I can be very unfiltered and very honest, but I also was like, you know what, she's asking this for a reason, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of answer as I know how. And I kind of talked to her, I was like, and what's ironic, before I continue the story, the person who asked me this question, low-key, bluntly speaking, I had a huge crush on growing up. But the problem was, it just was not there. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure what happened or, how it all went down. But, hold on, I'm sorry. But regardless of how it went down, it just was one of those things that I said, you know what? I'm just going to be as honest as I can. And what I told her was, I basically was like the reason that I was single and the reason why I have not gotten married is because I truly haven't came across anyone who can deal with or handle me as a person. And when people hear that, or when you say that to someone, that can be very, I don't want to say misleading, but it can be misinterpreted.
Uh-huh.
And the nicest way of me to put it, I might have got something to reduce. Sorry. I'm over here like having perfectionist moments. The reason that it triggered me a little bit is because people really have tried to figure out why at 35 I'm not married. And like I was talking about this in the last show, as far as sort of the December, one of my things was about love and about relationships, as far as why I haven't come across somebody. In the gaming terms, or in the tech world, I call it, I'm looking for player two. Now that I've kind of thought about it, stepped back a little bit more and looked at it, I realized I'm not really looking for player two. I'm looking for a co-op. I'm looking for somebody that can meet me where I am. I can meet them where they are. And it can just be a mutual chemistry, connection, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What you bring to the table and what you don't bring to the table, those are all going to come as they do. Bringing bags, bringing problems, bringing issues, that's part of the norm. But at the end of the day, it's about being with someone that gets you and you get them.
Mm-hmm.
Like my friend, her him and his wife, they've been married for years. And I can remember they were married, like before they got married, when they were just dating and playing around, fooling around, whatever. And it worked. And it's even down to like my parents. My parents have been married for 36 years. Mm-hmm. So it's like I have templates of good marriage, but then on the same token, it's like everyone comes across people in different times and different manners. So those are like to solidify a reason. We're gonna just roll with this, and then we'll kind of let it improv along the way. So that's kind of my opening for like why I'm not married.
I mean, some of the points you made in there. First of all, the point that sticks out to me the most, and it's true for me. You know, I had the model relationship. You know, I grew up in a 2-parent home, and my parents were together, like 16 years before my mom passed. So I always saw a healthy relationship. And then I, get grown, do my thing. I didn't have my first child, my only child, until I was 29. So kind of beat the odds there. But at the same time, I feel like my ass was 29. I should have known better. Like, I'm glad I didn't have no kid at 18, 19, 20. But I waited till 29, and I was with the person, for 7 years. And we're no longer together. But even in that 7 years, marriage wasn't really discussed. Like, it was brought up, but it just wasn't like, okay, let's do this. But yet, like, we create a human. I don't know. So, reason why I'm not married, I think in the back of my head, I kind of just knew that person wasn't going to be marriage material. And even before him, I was proposed to when I was like 20 or 21. Okay. And I was like really in love. Like, and to this day, I still talk to this person. So do you think that's like what, 14, 15 years ago going on? And, I think back on it now, and it's like, had we gotten married, I don't know. I don't know if we'd be divorced by now. I don't know if we'd still be together. But after him, I have a weird life. Like, people that I went with, people that I dated, they kind of kept coming back in my life in my 20s. And so another person came back in my life, and his comment was, you need a good man, you need a man. And I'm like 24, 25. I'm not thinking about that at that point. And I feel like now at 35, I'm coming out, I'm almost a year and a half out of a relationship. And I don't have any prospects. Like, and I'm like, the clock is ticking here. And, when you hit like 35, I don't know if it's like a magical number. I just think you start realizing, at least for me, I want those traditional things. Because in your 20s, you are rebellious. Like, you're like, oh, I'm not going to do it their way. I'm going to do it my way. But when you hit your 30s, it's like you start seeing why your parents did certain things. You start seeing, the order of marriage. Because when you hit when you hit 35, you're tired. I mean, if you live in 35, the quote unquote right way, where you're getting up going to work every day, and you're taking care of things you take care of, you're gonna be tired. Adulting. So it's like you want somebody there to have your back. And when people ask me now, especially like if I talk to a dude, they're like, "Oh, are you married yet?" Like people from my past, and like before that used to be cute, but now it just like pisses me off. Yeah, because I'm like, don't ask me.
Yeah, the tough part about it is, the tough challenge with that is it triggers. It's like you're trying to find a way to break ice, but you're not sure how to do it.
Right.
So that makes it even more of a cumbersome challenge to deal with someone who does that. Because that's not really what you want to hear, what you're thinking of, like, dealing with.
I'm just, I don't know. I think a lot of my friends are married. A lot of them actually have divorced this year, which is crazy. And I'm just like, is it better to have been married and divorced, or just not married at all? Like, which one is better? I don't know. I mean,
that's a rhetorical question, because if you ask me, like, personally, right now, I'm good. And I know that's odd to say, and the only reason I say I'm good is because as much as I would like to have that special someone and be involved and yada, 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 the difference now is, and this is something that I think people don't take into account, and this is probably my simplest way of looking at it. When you're in your 20s, like, dating in your 20s is great because your ideas get creative, you don't mind going places, you don't mind having fun wherever. You just want to chill and live and, like, cut up. But when you get to, like, the 30s, like early 30s and, like, mid 30s, you start to get into, you become processing of setting your ways, and you'll make changes when needed and, like, go that extra mile and try something out new from time to time. But on a consistent basis, you're like, so these are the places that I like. These are the things I like to do. These are the movies that I'm into. This is what I'm up for doing. This is the time that I'm available. If you can't work in any of those ranges of gaps,
I can't.
ain't much else we can talk about.
And I'm laughing because it's so true. It's really true.
Like, folks don't, like, at this point in my life, and, like, my roommate, she's not here, but she understands. I'm one of those people now, when it comes to people dealing with me, I'm about time and location, time and space. If you say, hey, we doing something, what time, where is it at? If I don't get one of those two things, or if it's not being addressed at any point in the conversation, I don't hear you. And
right.
I'm not gonna think about it ever again.
Yeah, I feel you.
I function it. But now, like, dating, I don't know, I guess, like, dating for me is way more extracurricular, especially with people who really aren't, like, because you could be on some, hey, I'm dating, not even to look for somebody serious, but you just dating because you want to get to know somebody and hang out with them. But then the other person is just like, I'm just dating because it's just, you hear there's a body. And it's like, no, that wasn't why I signed up, and that's not what this was about, and why I took time out of my day to spend time with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel you on that. I mean, people are busy. People have lives outside of dating. So, I'm be honest with you. I can't be up until 3 a.m. It's just not going to work. I mean, we can Netflix and chill till about 10 p.m. and then I'm in the bed. Like, I can't do it. So, I definitely feel like in your 30s, you're more focused. You're more driven by time, and you don't have time to waste. Like, if you're going to date me, don't waste my time. I don't have time to fill anybody out. Like, we either doing it or we're not. Like,
yeah. And then the other side of it too is, like, folks will carry themselves like they, like, I don't know. It's almost like and this is probably gonna be on one of my upcoming podcasts because I've talked about it before, where you're looking at the PowerPoint. I call it the PowerPoint relationship, or the PowerPoint presentation of, hey, these are the things that I'm gonna present that I'm interested in and that I want. But in reality, this is really all I want. Like, oh, you want companionship, time, and dating and all that? No, I just want you to come over and have sex, or I just want you to, like, talk to me. And if I need somebody to talk to, you're there to listen. And it's like, I need somebody to talk to, and you're there to listen stage. I left that back in, like, high school. Mm-hmm. Because my line, like, for instance, my line of work, I'm on the phone all day. I'm not gonna say what I do because it ain't happening. Right. But in my line of work, I'm on the phone from the start of my shift to the end of my shift. And I'm also chatting. So I'm literally doing text messaging and phone calls for the day, which is fine. But if I got off, if I want to talk to you and you really are like if you're giving me conversation and giving me life, I'm good. WIDs, hey, you busy? Hey, come over. All red flags, like all disinterest. And this is even with folks that I bang with. Like some folks that I rock with know you gotta have like a present. You gotta literally not give me some facade story. Like just come clean. Say, look, I ain't had the best day. Can you mind linking up? Okay, cool. Or look, I'm busy. I got my life. Can't do it. Like I feel like the big and I'm sorry. I'm probably taking this one over a little bit, but communication for me has been like the hit or miss about dating and relationships now. That's what's changed from like younger, because everyone now is in like the emoji state. Like I'ma send emojis and put subliminal messages in shorthand, everything instead of like actually talking to you and letting you know how you feel.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
Sorry.
No, I agree. It's like nobody knows how to communicate anymore. I mean, the fact that we're doing this podcast pretty much speaks for itself, but give you perfect example. Like I've never been an internet type dating person, but I found myself having to go that route the last year.
Yeah.
And every time I delete that damn app like 10 days after I get on there, because I'm just like, I can't deal with it. Like the guys, they're like, oh, let's text, whatever. Okay, maybe not even 2 hours in, maybe an hour in, I'm getting a dick pic. Like I don't want that. Like,
oh Lord,
because like clearly
I'm so glad my she would jump in this conversation so quick.
I mean, I know what to yeah, like I know what to do with it. I know what to do with it.
For the Savage reference, go back on Brite podcast, look for WID to dick pics. You'll understand why that just pinched a hilarious nerve.
Yeah, it's just like I know what to do with it. I have a child. Thank you. 2, that's not why I'm here. Like, can we talk? Can you say something funny? Like, I don't want to stare.
What's your favorite music? Like, what's your favorite sport? What's your favorite drink? Like,
yeah.
I'm one of those people now. Like, I done got to when I meet people, I'm like the aggressive petty person. If we go out to eat and you go to the bathroom, if I don't know what you like to drink, we have a problem.
Right, because
huge problem.
Nobody wants to wait for you to come out the bathroom. Come on,
exactly. Like it's little stuff like that. It's little things like that people don't think about, that I have been like mentally forced to think of. Like people go out to eat. What places are just off limits? What places are you likely to go get food? If you go get food, what's your main go-to? What's your second option? Like, it's all intent. Like, no one spends time learning tangibles anymore. And just like you said, I guess and part of it, I think for me, and we talked about this when I did that podcast. People's class and couth are gone because it's like, hey, I'm gonna show you. Let me show you all of this and show you why I'm interested in this, that, and the third. When it's like, okay, let's start over. Hi, I'm Brian. I like these things. This is what I like to do in my free time. Not, hey, when we gonna link up? We can link up whenever, but I'm gonna tell you now, you're not gonna like the places where I like to go, because I can tell. Because if you really want to make a person, all right, man tip of the day. Dating tip, and if this is something that guys who need to break the comfort zone should learn, if you're really interested in somebody and you really want to do something that's like a chill, simple environment, take them to a coffee shop. Doesn't have to be Starbucks. Does not have to be Panera. Let's get those off the table because everyone has the assumption of healthy food or expensive taste. Not putting those terms into the equation. Just using general, common know-how. Go out to a coffee shop, like a small local coffee shop, and just see what that person's head is and where, or literally, examine or evaluate their headspace. You will be surprised what you might learn. Because some people cannot hold a conversation.
Yeah, that's true. And you know what's sad is that these days, 9 times out of 10, you could be talking to somebody, texting or whatever, but if you go to their social media page, you'll find out more about that person than talking to them.
Yes.
That is so sad.
It is very sad. It's a lost cause. I don't know how we've gotten to that point. Very few people know about what goes on with me because, social media-wise, very few people knows what goes on with me. Mm-hmm. Now, as far as for exposure and networking purposes, yeah, I'll get, getting business information out there. Cool, I got you. But I'm having a tough time with dating and relationships ain't working for me. So I'm going to go on Facebook and, rant and air all my problems. Another thing folks in their 30s have not learned is Facebook is not a journal.
No, it's not. It's not.
Facebook isn't a journal, and it doesn't help because now that Twitter has extended to 280 characters, folks are writing up a storm. And it's no need to be known or made aware of what's going on and what's happening because it's much more important things going on in the world.
I agree. And, we come from Twitter when Twitter started. So, we had to condense our thoughts and you had to get to the point. And I just feel like now it's just laziness. I just say whatever I want to say and put it out into the world and wait for a reaction. And
no one gives me an engagement. No one likes it or no one comments. And no one cares about me and I'm not important. No, it's not that no one cares about you. You're not important. It's just there are millions of other people who are posting the same dumb stuff that you're posting.
Oh, gosh.
So they got to get to their comments and statuses as well.
Especially, the memes. You know what? I'm just can we get one central location for memes? Because, the same people post the same memes within an hour. And I'm it was funny when I first saw it, but, I've seen it, 10 times in the last hour.
So that's the perk of friends. The friends I have and the way we function, I swear, we introduce ourselves to meme generator, and it's a free-for-all. All we do is take anybody's regular picture or any picture that we can find, and we meme it ourselves and make our own memes. It's much better. That's the creativity you have to have. To go back to what you're saying, originality has lacked strongly, and so it's caused people to not be as open and just saying what they want to say and being who they are in expression. And what that then causes is the creativity is out of the window because instead of it being, hey, I need to, there's a thought that I have. I'm going to share this thought. But before I share it, let me make sure I put that I got it from somebody else. I'm just going to steal it off of their page without proofreading it and then hope that everybody understands where I'm coming from. But, yeah, to tackle the main point, would I like to get married? Yes. Would I like to propose to a woman? Yes. Is that likely going to happen anytime soon? Probably not, because I'm just not catching that. I'm not catching that vibe yet. I've come across people that have sparked interest, but going back to what you said, prospects are gone, and then the spinoff of it too is when it comes to people that you're meeting, it's not their meaning of the mind is not the same as your meaning of the mind. So you're just on different wavelengths altogether, and you're trying to like simplify something that doesn't need simplification.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my why I've not gotten married. Like I said it a couple of months ago, and I'm kind of like stagnant on saying it. I don't feel like my wife is where I'm at now. Like I just don't. They may be somewhere else. They might be here, and I just don't know it. But people who I've come across that are like, okay, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna shut up as best as I can. The most entertaining thing that I hear people do or say is the presentation of, I would love for a guy to just be with me and this, now, let me state for the record, this isn't people who, like, in your case, you're expressing like you would like to be with someone and be interested. You're not going on Facebook and on Instagram and on Twitter like ranting and raving about this every couple of days. Mm-hmm. I see people who personally post statuses that say this. And if you even make the slightest bit of an attempt to show interest or like that you want to talk to them, they shut down. And I'm like, but you just, I don't fit the prototype. I don't fit the mold of what you want to go for. Like,
mm-hmm. Yeah, I think a lot of people just want attention. I think they just want somebody to acknowledge their thoughts, no matter how crazy they may be.
Yeah.
And I see it all the time on my end of Facebook. It's like you post these statuses, and it's like you don't reflect what you're posting.
Yeah.
Oh, I want a man. Then the next post is, I don't need nobody. I got it. I'm good. Like, okay, which one you want? Because whoever's looking at that may be interested, they're like, one, you're confusing me. Two, you're probably turning them off because you're indecisive.
Right.
So, I don't post. I don't really post my thoughts when it comes to relationships because it's just like, why? Like, nobody that I'm posting to is gonna like change the fact.
Yeah.
So I just kind of stay quiet.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you're sitting there trying to pursue something. You just, at the end of the day, don't know what you're really trying to go for because you are all over the place with your agenda.
Yeah, but I'm also at the point where I don't want to be 40 still talking about I want to be married. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. And my dad will be like, what? In his 60s? Oh, my God. Like, I don't know. It is what it is.
It is. But I mean, that's where you just gotta, it's just a matter of coming across the right person that's worth, giving that option or that opportunity. And if they really they really bring the right things and right skills to the table, and it makes it all worthwhile.
Well, BT, I'm going to pray for me and you. Because I'll be 36 in January. So
I feel you.
Yeah.
I mean, yours January and then I'm September, so I'm with you.
Yeah, and I don't, we're in December right now and I'm still single, so don't really see that happening for me soon, but like you said,
true.
Maybe the right person just fall out the sky. I don't know.
Like cranes in the sky.
I tried to drink it away. I tried to smoke it away.
Tried to run it away. Yeah, so the one time.
Ooh, that was right on time.
My bad. I have no music references. I'll throw them wild and rambunctious.
Oh, that was right on time.
So random music recommendation, because my roommate, I'm still mad about this one. If you probably have already seen the video, but I'm going to share this with your listeners to give a good laugh. If you want retro vintage music, go back and find Remy Jackson, Centipede.
Oh my God! Don't do it.
Well, you said don't do it. The other one is even worse. The other option is the Jacksons Tortured.
You know what? I hate. Nope. I hate to make this confession, but I will.
Like that song?
No, I'm gonna tell you. Okay, so everybody that knows me knows I'm like the biggest Michael Jackson fan, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm not necessarily the biggest Jackson's fan, and it hurts me to admit this. Okay, so I literally would have to go pull up Torture right now and listen to it, because unless it's like All I Do Is Think of You or like Hotel, Heartbreak.
Heartbreak Hotel.
Yeah, I'm really not. I don't know. I'm just really not there. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, but Centipede, child.
You say stop.
Child, listen. I'm gonna tell you something. Mike loved his family. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Because he wrote and produced Centipede, and if you listen to Centipede, if you listen to the chorus, it's all Mike.
It's Mike and the Weather Girls, which I was surprised by.
Yeah, like he talking about.
That still wowed me. I was like, what?
Hey, Martha Wash had to make a living. Okay,
Sure.
So
Right.
yeah, he just loved his family, because there's no like. Do you really see Beyonce on Solange's album? No. I love him. I love him to death.
I don't see them collabing no time soon.
Exactly. And for Mike to be out here singing about Centipede in the background, come on now. You done made Thriller.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
No. Child, that was,
but yeah,
yes.
Centipede is hot. Once you see the video, you'll understand why.
Well, that thing, is that the only song Review ever made or released?
She had another one that was like looked like it was a rendition of Saved by the Bell, I believe. But
oh my god,
that's what I can think of. That's the one that, like, every so often, just to have a moment of just laughter and randomness, I go to that. It's just my random 2%, just because.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So on Twitter, because when you said Centipede, I was like, it reminded me of Twitter back in the day. Okay, did you have a follower? Did you follow Miss Malice? Does that sound familiar to you? Her name was Miss Malice, MSMALUS.
Okay.
So she used to joke about Centipede. Like, that was our little inside joke. Like, she would send me a clip or mention it to me ever so often.
Yeah.
So when you said that, I was like, oh my god.
Okay. Yeah. No, I have not heard that name. I may have to. I mean, well, depending on my following space, I may have to follow.
Hilarious.
But yeah, that's my closing, and that's my But yeah, as far as marriage and dating sucks after 30, and
oh my god, it sucks so bad.
Marriage is in the window, but not. It's not in the queue right now. So when it happens, it happens. I'm learning with things not to force it. That's why what I put for today for Surrender December might trigger some nerves, but I don't care. I really don't.
It is what it is. I mean, at this point, it's like, if you're dating in your 30s or trying to get married, you're basically going to get either leftovers, or you're going to get people that should have never been picked to begin with.
Folks, it's in the bitter females. Like, I'm trying not to curse, but I don't even. I'm just gonna make sure. You either gonna get what's in the bitter bitch syndrome, or you gonna get what's in the salty pout mouth Negro college fund.
What? Not the. Oh my god.
That's what you left with it, because you got guys that's still trying to hold on to this moment that ain't coming back. It's just what it is. And you got some females. It's not all, like, a lot of females. It's good. Like, it's good females out there. Don't get me wrong. It's good guys out there. But what happens is, most guys come across the female that claims she wants something serious, but she really just, I need somebody to be my baby daddy, to take care of my kids. And when I say take care, and I'm saying, like, don't get me wrong. Like, people who have, like, anyone who has children, that's not where I'm running with that. Because there are some parents, some women who take care of their children A to Z. Even with a guy being there, they don't look at him and say, hey, I need you to do this, unless that goes into that realm. But if some folks out the box, it's, well, I mean, I need you to take her to daycare. I need you to. So I have a job, and I because I dated somebody who actually, when they first met me, they literally thought I was going to get a new car just because I was dating her. I was like, that's cute. Not going to happen.
A new car?
Yeah, she wanted, because she had a family. She had a,
oh, my God.
She had a network. Let me rephrase that.
A network?
And she had enough kids that I was like, no, I'm not,
She trying to get you to get a minivan.
She wanted me to get a minivan.
Oh, my God.
I was like, no, we're not getting matching minivans. That's dead. I'm keeping my little van and keep it moving. Now, if you can't get them in the car, it's tough. You're going to have to make it work. You're going to have to take them in your car or something.
Wait a minute. It reminded me of that Kanye song. I took all they badasses to showbiz.
Yeah. Like, literally, man. I'm just like, no. Not going to happen. But, yeah. Time will tell what's in store, but nothing's being forced for me no more. I'm just gonna let life be what it is and move and progress and focus on my brain and focus on what I'm trying to do for me and bettering myself by all means. And whomever she is that comes along will be, that person that I invest that time and energy towards, like taking the next steps with. But it ain't no time soon. That much I can tell you.
Well, I'm saying the universe. I would like a husband. I would like husband material. Not I'm gonna be your wifey while we live together for 10 years. No. Okay. No, we're not doing that. So I'm putting into the world. Yes, I would like to get married eventually, and they're not here yet. But hopefully they're just trekking along like me. We're gonna meet somewhere in the middle of the universe and be good.
Right.
Until that time, we thank you guys for listening. And we hope that you join us next week, Sunday, around the same time. You can always catch me on IG at LoopThatBish Radio, Twitter at LoopThatBish, and weekly every Friday on Spreaker, iTunes, or iHeartRadio at LoopThatBish Radio. BT?
Pass. I'm going to simplify it this time. Personal Brights82, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the Past Podcast, and Spreaker, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Past Podcast. Just look me up. You'll enjoy what you hear. Ask of the week, great stuff.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you next time. Have a great week.
Loop that bish. Enough said.